Today in Los Angeles, a family demands justice after a brutal dog attack and fatal stabbing on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Los Angeles.
First up, family demands justice after brutal dog attack and stabbing on Hollywood Walk of Fame. Barry Henderson, a 37-year-old Hollywood resident, was waiting for a bus near Hollywood Boulevard and Las Palmas Avenue when he was attacked on May 20th. According to Los Angeles Police Department investigators, the assault started with a dog bite, then escalated into a group beating, and Henderson was ultimately stabbed. Police say 3 suspects are in custody and 1 remains at large. Patrick Randall Perry, identified by police as the dog's owner and the person believed to have stabbed Henderson, was arrested on May 28th. Perry is someone officers say had prior run-ins with the law in that same area. Surveillance video captured parts of the incident, and a vigil has already been held for Henderson, who relatives describe as well-loved and gentle. The family is calling for justice, and the case is renewing tough questions about safety in high-traffic tourist areas like the Walk of Fame. That's a stretch of Hollywood Boulevard known worldwide. It's crowded, busy, and should feel safe to stand and wait for a bus.
It's unsettling that something this violent happened in such a public spot. I mean, you expect a lot of foot traffic, cameras, even security ambassadors around. Why did this still spiral like that? Maybe it's time to, boost the simple stuff. Better lighting, consistent patrols, and trained outreach teams who can spot tensions early. In places that draw tourists and locals, visible presence can be a deterrent. That's a solid point about surveillance. If video is clear, that at least helps investigators move fast.
Right, and from what witnesses and family have said, this was unprovoked. With 1 suspect still at large, detectives are pushing ahead. The sooner they're found, the sooner the family gets accountability in court.
Next up, teen arrested in fatal Long Beach shooting of fellow 15-year-old. Police in Long Beach say a 15-year-old boy was shot near Cedar Avenue and Plymouth Street in the middle of the day, and he later died at the hospital. On May 28th, officers arrested another 15-year-old in Lakewood, which is a neighboring city in LA County just east of Long Beach. The suspect is being held without bail at Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall. That's the county's juvenile detention facility, while the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office reviews the case for potential charges. It happened in broad daylight. 2 kids the same age. That hits different.
It does. The youth piece is heartbreaking. Real talk, we're seeing more very young teens pulled into violent situations, and families are left with impossible grief. Community-based interventions can help. That's things like mentorship programs, after-school activities that keep kids busy and connected, and violence interruption teams, which are trained neighbors who step in to cool down conflicts before they escalate. It's not flashy, but prevention works when it's consistent and funded. Next up, lawsuit filed against kebab chain for E. coli outbreak in California. A family has sued the kebab shop, a fast casual chain with locations in California, Texas, and Florida, and its beef supplier, Olympia Food Industries. The suit says their child ate beef kofta at the Atwater Village location in early April and got sick. By early April, doctors diagnosed E. coli, a bacteria that can cause severe food poisoning. The child developed a dangerous kidney complication. Beef kofta is basically spiced ground beef formed into skewers or patties. The kebab shop has paused sales of beef kofta while health authorities investigate. The lawsuit was filed in late May and alleges violations of federal food safety laws. It's a reminder that even with improvements in food handling, outbreaks still happen, and when kids are involved, the stakes are high.
Yeah, food safety is one of those things you only notice when it fails. Simple, consistent steps matter. Careful sourcing, cold storage at the right temperatures, and thorough cooking. If the investigation confirms a supply chain issue, accountability has to extend to the supplier, not just the storefront. And pausing the menu item now is the right move while they sort it out. Next up, Becerra leads in gubernatorial polls. Steyer and Hilton close on his heels. The latest Emerson College poll, taken in late May, shows Xavier Becerra at 28%, Tom Steyer at 22%, and Steve Hilton at 21%. Quick refresher on who's who. Becerra is a former California Attorney General. Steyer is a billionaire activist and former presidential candidate. Hilton is a conservative commentator who has consolidated much of the GOP vote. 2 keynotes. First, California's top 2 primary means the 2 highest vote getters, regardless of party, advance to November. Second, turnout, meaning how many people actually show up to vote, could swing this. Becerra's support is strongest among Democrats, Hispanic voters, and women. With the margins this tight, late shifts matter.
Totally. If Becerra keeps building that coalition, which is just a fancy way to say a broad mix of supportive groups, he can lock in a spot for November. But younger voters and independents are still in play, and that's where Steyer could grab momentum. The bottom line is simple. If people sit it out, the map looks one way. If they engage, it can look very different. Last up, Monica Rodriguez, from critic to ally in LA's political landscape. Monica Rodriguez, a Los Angeles City Council member who represents parts of the Northeast San Fernando Valley, used to be a sharp critic of Mayor Karen Bass. She challenged Bass over issues like Inside Safe, the mayor's initiative to move people living in encampments into interim housing. Rodriguez also questioned the handling of the Palisades fire response. Now she's backing Bass in the upcoming election, saying she values Bass's openness to differing views and sees her as more consistent than rival councilmember Nithya Raman. That's notable because Rodriguez herself was once floated as a potential challenger. With a competitive race ahead, this kind of endorsement can signal where parts of the council are leaning.
That's a curveball. Alliances like this can shape voter perception fast. When a former critic becomes an ally, it suggests common ground on priorities, or at least on leadership style. Why now? Possibly timing. With a tight race, signaling stability and a working relationship can matter to voters who, just want steady hands on big issues like homelessness and public safety.
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Los Angeles.
Have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow. Stay curious.